Hey, hey, tea drinkers. Here's another drop from the Mystic Teapot. Today I'm going to do a 21 card free flow pour because I have some new decks and I want to show them. And so this is actually going to be a sort of a deck review because I really loved this. This is very 80s, very neon, very pastel, very denim. And a bit Tron, obviously, with the neon element. So I really like this deck. And so I decided that I want to show off decks and I want to do some readings. So it was time to get the jug on and put some juice into the kettle and see what we got. Let's start with, it's got disco balls. Alright, I'm not going to make all 21 cards jump out of the deck. Not everybody loves, whoa. Oh, we're going to start here though. We're going to start with the Hermit. So the first flavour in the pot today is we actually took some time back to withdraw into ourselves, to give ourselves a bit of space, to take some time out. This can be creating an oasis at home. This is taking the light that you have been using outside, in the outside world, within, and making something cozy. This can be an investigative space. This could be a place where you're journaling. This is sometimes where the best writers come from, but this is where we take our hermitage, our spiritual light, inside to our own domain and we retract a bit, right? So if you feel like you've retracted from the world a bit because you want to work on yourself, this is where this is starting, right? And that means it could be for you. Alright, this has a very wide desk. This is a very wide reading. I'm going to see if I can fit it all in. Let's see what I've got for space and dimension. I might have to readjust because I know that's not going to give us enough angle for this. Alright, just give me a little bit more room on the table. Let's see what we got. So we're going to put the Hermit right over here. Still in that space. Oh, can I go from this space across? No, it has to be over here. Alright, we're going to put the Hermit over here. Remembering that's where we start from. Sure not, it's not going to give us enough room. Alright, anyway, let's go. So, from our hermitage space, this is where we started this journey from. This is free flow pour. Let's see what we've got. Ten of Swords. So we ended old conversations. We ended an old mindset when we're talking about swords. We're talking about air. So we're talking about how that's affected our mind. So this might have gone that we've gone through an education level. This may be that we've ended old conversations. And so this is a space where we actually regroup. And so, not surprisingly, you've taken a rest from conversations and maybe decided there's a new mindset that needs to take place. And that is where most spiritual awakenings come from, right? Whoa, let's get another 2 on the table. So, oh, the World. Big World card. So, we've gone Major Arcana, Lower Arcana, Major Arcana. The World card. So this is actually what we perceive. We've actually grown through a cycle. It is an ending, but it's a big cycle. You've actually grown through some sort of thing and come out the other side feeling a lot more whole. This has given you a strength of confidence. This gives us strength of purpose. And sometimes this is a great place to start business from. This is a great place to even start new relationships from because you're in a good relationship with yourself. Strength of purpose, strength of being. Alright, we also have the 8 of Swords. Now this is not being able to express yourself. This is feeling bound. This is not being able to tell the things, say the things. And so in this hermitage, maybe you've decided it's time to be quiet. Maybe there's things that have come to light in this growth that you actually can't explain to people or you don't want to explain. Maybe you've been bound by past experiences that won't let you grow and won't let you grow past that. Maybe you are being bound. You felt like you were being bound. So while you were having this growth cycle, you could still feel that people didn't want to hear it or you didn't want to talk about it or you couldn't talk about it. And there are some things that we do keep inside of our growth cycle. Right? This is our glow up. But this is a space where you've actually retracted from the world. This is where somebody's retracted from the world and they're going, I need to find my own space in this, right? Okay. So, what else have we got? So yeah, this deck and then so many other decks are just so great. And so I decided it was time. Let's see what else we've got coming up. The green tea I did. Greenwood tea was very quick. It's a palate cleanser. This is a little different. So after all of this, after all this growth and all this space, you decided it was time to step out. And this is full energy. When we're talking full energy, we're really giving ourselves to the world. So this is actually unbinding yourself. So whatever that was holding you back, you've just gone, I need to step through and jump. And sometimes that's feel the fear and do it anyway sort of energy. All right, when we're jumping into this, our inner soul, innocent soul, Gives us a heads up. Alright, let's see if I can fit 2 more on the table. Angles. It's all been about angles, trying to record this stuff, to be quite honest. And lighting, and angles and lighting. And you know what? Just start doing it. Alright, 2 more for this row. What sort of led us into where we are. So it's time to jump. For my love, jumping. Oh! Oh, big. You've got big energies. These are big energies. So this is a collective reading. This isn't for anybody specific. This is just big energies that are sitting in the flow. And we get to see these neon lights around the death card here. And it shows us as a death angel, the angel of death. And this is where we walk through. This is where we walk through the valley and we understand what we've let go, what we actually are leaving behind, like all of this. So where this was a subtle, I am strong, I am big death, this is the other, this is the transformative stuff that makes you let go of all of the stuff that isn't part of you anymore, maybe an old world that you're not connected to anymore. But also letting yourself transform through this space. Watch this space. So Scorpio energy in there. We've got Capricorn, Virgo, Scorpio, and Aquarius energy all sitting in here in these big spaces. Because this is a lot of upper arcana stuff. What else have we got coming out of this neon nostalgic tarot? It's great. I really love this deck. And I want to use more of them. So here we are doing some more readings. So, oh, a big movement. This is the Eight of Wands. So we have now got fire on the table. The other lower arcana cards we had were in our suits were of the air. Now we're here in the fire zone. And this is really driving it forward. How far can we push it? Alright, can we push 2 more people into this row? But this is driven forward. So with all of this, whatever's going on, all this death energy, and you've come out of your hermitage and you're like, right, I'm solid, I'm bold, I'm big, I'm earthy. I'm not letting go of all my secrets. I'm not letting go of what bound me, but I am going to jump. I am going to jump here. Alright, 1 more in this row. Here it is. So, we have a Page of Wands. Page of Wands. This is actually spiritual enlightenment. This is actually chasing after. When we got the page, we're really talking about double the energy. When we're talking about fire, we're definitely talking about what's inspired us. Trying to make sure that was fire, but we're talking about what inspired us, and we're talking about what drives us. But all the shiny things, all the things that are really like, you know, exciting. What are the things that, all the rocks you're turning over? What are the diamonds you're finding? Where are all the gemstones along the way? These are people, these are places, these are touchstones, these are milestones. But this is what are you getting in and getting on it. Right, I'm going to put that there. Alright, so we're inspired coming into the present space. We're inspired. Alright, so you come out of this death space charged. I'm inspired. Alright, I'm going to take that one. Alright, so look at these pastels. These are so cool. And you're looking forward. This is looking forward. So we made spiritual decisions. We made decisions on these are the things that really drive me forward. And with this 3 of Wands, you know, you're looking at the set. You're looking at, we're going to go out and go for a surf today. Yeah, my ship's coming in. Like, so 80s, this picture. And so this is a really great space where, you know, you're looking forward. You've driven things forward. You've looked at what inspires you. You've broken through free of some old expectations and some old binds. You took your time and you took a death. You've taken a couple. You've grown, and this has actually led you to a space where you can look forward to the energies that are coming through. Yes. Alright, so free flow pour on the neon decks. Thank you for very much being here. Hit like and subscribe if you are still here, because all this stuff takes to grow a channel. For all those people who haven't heard me before, behind the hot tea and for the soul, here we are. Have a Facebook group, all that stuff. Let's do the rest of this reading. Let's do all the cheers. Alright, so I love these disco balls. Shiny disco balls. Alright, let's get another 2. 3, 2. 1 more. Oh, there we are. Alright, so The Knight of Swords. So we went for a space where we can't talk about it to we're definitely talking about it. We're communicating clearly. We're communicating what we want, setting boundaries, maybe setting up the contract details, maybe getting through our studies. These are where we actually really do look at and driving forward with our communication space. So where you couldn't communicate before, we're definitely communicating now. And we're doing this from a place where we feel stable, we're protected, we know where our stability is, we know where our income comes in, we know where we're driven from, and we're protecting our own. Again, we've just been looking at all of what we believe in and we're being driven forward. And so this is about really expressing yourself and expressing ourselves and what we actually need. Alright, expressing ourselves. And so in here we now have the Tower. This has been coming up lately. And you know what? It came up in the last readings before I finished this channel because there was a lot of Tower energy. So this is lightning swift change. Alright, so everything that we have stable, this is great because we are pegging down to our foundations. What are the things that make you stable? What are the things that actually have you held together? What are the superficial things that you need to let go of? Sometimes this involves a trip. It really is lightning space that just changes your mind and changes your level, changes your perspective. And so Tower isn't always bad, it's just powerful lightning energy. We have that right in the middle of this now. Right, so, and I really like that card in this deck. It's potent, and it should be. That's really our lightning energy. It really is one of the most potent, more potent probably than the wands, the beginning of the wands, the ace of wands. And so, Tower energy in the middle. Woohoo! This is what we came here for. Look, shaking things up. We've gone through death. We've done all this. We want to see the world. Like, we've loosened off all of the things that were binding us. We're driven forward. Like, communicating ourselves. Communicating what we sense. We know sure that we've got a stable base, which is what we need, right? Tower energy requires you to. Let's see what comes out the other side. Alright. Another 3 cards for this row. I'd have to move my cuppa. Alright, 3 cards for this row. So for a free flow pour with the Neon Nostalgic Tarot, 1. Whew, I was really quick with the Greenwood tea. Probably will be a little bit slower than that. There's a lot of signs and symbols in the card, but I got that knocked out really quick because I really want to get some readings up. I've got some extra ones that I want to do. Worked out like a Heartworks clock. See how it ticks. Can't wait. Got a rendezvous deck, so we'll see how the heart ticks. Oh, there's another 2. Right, so this was already... Oh, this wasn't already here. This one, Star energy. We're going to go with this one. And then I'm going to put the Page of Pentacles down. So, wow. Okay, so if we're coming out of that, all of your foundations, all your light, who you are, everything, then we're coming into Star energy. Regardless if Page was first or Star energy comes out first, we're talking about something that's going to have a gift, a progression. The star is going to be shown. Your unique qualities are going to be shown. So outside of what's going on here, you're actually going to be shown as this shining. This is Aquarius light. This is actually giving yourself that chance. This is a physical chance at actual stardom, maybe. This is not just stardom. This is you showing your qualities to the world and it paying off. These 2 cards together. So whatever comes out of this Tower, thank God you're still listening. Like, here we are, because this is big balance energy. This is big stuff coming to fruition. And the 10 of Cups on the table. So this is happiness. This is like my cup runneth over. So whatever this is going to bring, this page, this child, this comes through, star child comes through. We've got a happy family sitting here in the Atari glow. Like, how fantastic are these cards? This is why I'm going to do these 21 card pours. So if you're not interested in a long reading that's just showing you through a deck, this is probably not the reading for you at all. If you're just interested in hearing the cards come out and seeing a new deck, this is a great card. This might be a good one for you. This is a free flow pour. I'm going to put that up there because I need the extra table space. Alright, so this, we've already got the first one. Whoa, Hanging Man. Hanging Man. So, Hanging Man is a pregnant pause. Pregnant pause. We've got Pisces energy here. This is where we get a little bit of retrospect. We get to actually stop for a second and we can see exactly how we got here. Alright, so we're hanging out in the top in there and we're just like literally working out what the new perspective is, what the new angle is and where we go forward from here. Right, but you can see every step that took this to get you to where you are. You can see that we were in the Hermit. We can see that we had to end a mindset and end an old conversation and change our world and see how we grew and grew up. Right? And so we had to let go, take a big jump and leap of what the bondage was and what was actually holding us behind. And in here we had the Page of Wands, always just keeping us inspired after this death and this drive to move forward. And look, I thought to start with we had a lot of air energy, and then we moved into a lot of fire energy. So we've taken that mindset and we've changed it into something spiritual, but we also created stability in here while we're expressing ourselves, we're expressing what we want. So this Hangman can see every single step it took to get to this space to where it is right now, right? Whew. Hold in there. You'll see the perspective. Hold in. Hold in. Like, hold on to your chair right now. For anybody who's in this tower space, hold on. Hold on to your chair. It's going to be good. Comes out. Let's see. Comes out in the wash. All right, a few more cards. Let's see where this goes. Let's see where we're going from this Hangman. What perspective? Where do we lead from there? Let's give us another card too. We need 6, so woo, woo. Thank you very much. One over there. Alright, so let's go. This one's on the table first. So have the 5 of Pentacles. So after all of this, you might feel alone. Alright, there's been a lot that goes on in here. There's an endurance space. This is, again, a pregnant pause. You might feel like this has gone into its own, like, space where you need a bit of space. But this is, I'm having to just sit back and see what's actually come of this. Like, you had your ladder. You know what that is. You know what you've got. You know what you've got, your stability. So you've gone through, there'll be this star space where you're actually seeing yourself and you're seeing it come through in small ways, and it brings happiness. Alright, and we hang in there, and it might just for a minute, like, make you feel like you had to go through this space of endurance. Alright, but out of this, we've got this attraction. We've got this attractive, manifestive energy. We don't just have 1 cup full, we have 2 cups full. This can be meeting another soul, of course. This is you feeling attractive. When somebody makes you feel attractive, you do feel more attractive. So obviously, you're more attractive. So therefore, there we are. More attractive. So this is that sort of energy. This is the sort of energy that brings us into fruition. Alright, this is the sort of manifesting energy that we want to be able to give ourselves to in our heart, right? So no matter what's happening in here, everything, all these spaces, our heart is still full. Oh, of nostalgic energy, just like this deck. Like, yeah. And so as we're progressing through this is going to connect to old heart spaces, maybe old hobbies, spaces that you're revisiting, friends, like, so breaking away from this superficial energy is giving us another space for our heart. Like, it's opening from this endurance. So we're just holding just for a little bit longer. And so another 3 cards on the table. Let's see what we get. 1. Whoa. No, this has a strength of purpose. This has a strength of power. This is your willpower. You standing up again for what you believe in here. Alright, so we've gone from a different position where we were bound previously in all of this to feeling like we're actually able to use our willpower inside of all of this. Alright, that overcome the obstacles, watch the combatants, and to be able to use your strength of purpose and your passion. And that's where we fight in the fight for what we want. We fight for our actual beliefs still. Alright, so 2 more cards for this free flow pour with the nostalgic deck. Bit of hot tea for the soul. Thank you for still being here. If you're here, love you. Alright, so 2 more cards to go. The Page of Swords. This is talking about it. Alright, so before we weren't talking, we couldn't talk at all, we were bound. This is talking to everybody. This is messages, sending everybody messages, talking about what you've got going on, talking about what you feel, how you've asserting yourself, or how you've changed. But before, where you couldn't stand up for yourself and you couldn't talk about everything, here we are definitely talking about purpose. And there's a lot of chatter, there's a lot of message going on. So before we started here in the Hermit phase, where we weren't talking to everybody, the conversation was over. Alright, we got double energy in the page. This is very intellectual. You might have even decided to study in the middle of all of this, which is a great space to end up in. Alright, 1 more to go, and we already have it here. Oh, we got over it. This is a transition. all of this distraction, all of this everything, your mind, your space, this is all taking your mind to a whole new space. So we laid down when we couldn't talk, but we grew through that, and we jumped and went through this death phase and just stood for what we believed in, communicated clearly in here, understood what our strength of our stability was and what we were protecting and what we have, and now inside of here we have a true transition. Like, this is a transition of mind. This is like getting over it. Triumph happens in the 6 in all of the suits. We've got a couple of 6s on the table. We've got a heartfelt triumph, and this is a mindset triumph. So when we're communicating now in all of these spaces, we're totally communicating from a different space, and we're driven by our spirit and our passion. And there is going to be something in here that is lightning swift change, but it's going to show star qualities here. And it's because your mind is stable. Right? Your mind is in the right place to take the transition, to make this go in the right space, down the river, right? We're sitting on top of the emotions, handling our boat. And in the end of all of this, this has given us a nice view of this deck, because it's a great deck. But this has also given us a good view of our mind. You're a star, and don't forget that. You've got the power. You've got the power inside of all of this. Just like Shira. You can be Princess of Power too. Or He-Man, wherever your jam is. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm going to do a few more readings. I've got a few on the menu. Still a bit nervous about how I'm delivering this and the lighting, but they will get better. Thank you for being with Hot Tea for the Soul. Bless. Have a great cuppa. Have a great afternoon, evening, morning, tea, wherever you are.